Alrighty. Trucks. They exist. Huh. I'm sure I have more. I want to be very careful with, because if I end up pulling it too tight, you can see my nips through it, and Twitch don't like nips, so I gotta be careful about that. I need to contain my nips. Okay. Let's grab ourselves a freight job. Hopefully one that takes me to Texas. So I just unlocked Texas. It does not look like anything here is going to take me there. And we get Idaho. Idaho to Idaho. Well, that takes me the right direction. So... and it pays the most. So let's do this one. I'm thankfully not starting from where I left off last stream, because that would suck. Oh, I can actually repair my truck here. There we go. Yeah, I can get fuel, which I also need. Fuel. This truck, much like the others, undoubtedly is gonna need a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of fuel. $1,000 fuel bill. Where am I picking this job up from? Somewhere, that's for sure. Yeah, I needed a lazy day stream for today, basically. Because I just spent a lot of my daily spoons cleaning and reorganizing this room a little bit. Which you may be wondering how that's possible. You underestimate how messy this room was, and how annoying the whole process is, and how much I hate cleaning. All of those are very much factors. There's also something on Facebook Marketplace around here that I'm tempted to buy. Keyword being tempted, I don't know if I actually will or not. It's a, an actual decent racing wheel for like 60 bucks. Which would be really nice for this, but... I'm crossing the line. Hey, I crossed the white line. Freaking game. I know my truck was already past the white line. Truck, why? You could have just turned. And then I might have made it before the light changed. I probably wouldn't have, because these lights are so bloody inconvenient. But I get they can only be convenient one way, but also why all of the lights? There's no need for this. These could be stop signs. Hell, these could be stop signs on those roads and just none on this one. I don't have a green light. Why could they go? There we go. I still have no idea where I'm going for this job. But, you know. Clearly, whatever city this is loves its stoplights. It's not like we could all go right now. There's no traffic. Oh, there's one little car. It's one of those moments where, like, in real life, everyone probably would have just gone. I have also expanded the music playlist a little bit. As, you know, has been apparent already with the Earthbound music showing up, the Azure Lane music being audible, though the inaudible tracks are still in the playlist, because I don't really know if they're audible or not until I actually hit streaming, so I don't remember which ones it is. I just know some of them are, and some of them aren't. Eh, my truck can handle it. I'm confident. Why are there boats in the parking lot? This ain't no boat parking. Silly boats. Parking's for cars. Ugh, hiccups. Just glad I'm not nearly vomiting. I don't know why, but when I finished cleaning, I almost vommed. Which was fun. The turn I was gonna do, I can't really do, so I gotta hope this turn is possible. No, this turn is not possible. I'm gonna get snagged. Or maybe... Okay, that worked. I must just heard something fall. That's fun. I almost feel like this truck is actually somehow weaker than my other trucks. Yeah, I may actually message the guy selling the racing wheel around here and see if he still has it. I mean, it's a racing wheel, so probably does. But, because, I mean, who really goes out of their way to buy racing wheels other than crazy nutters like me? I had actually been looking on Amazon at some, but like... the more affordable ones, as in like the $130 range, are obviously very, very bare bones. And like, while they'd probably be an improvement over the controller, $130. And the ones that actually have a good number of features to them and such are like 200 or more. But yeah, I did some cleaning earlier. Which, I mean... I was a lot more motivated and keen to do it before I started. It's like, yeah, this'll be easy. It's just like a little corner of stuff I need to move, and then I can swing my bed around, and then I'll have more floor space. And I do! I do. I have more floor space. Because I'm actually using that corner of floor, basically. But, that was a lot of work. And my table is now also a bit different because a little gap that used to exist in it no longer exists there, which makes me really glad that my headphone cable was not in that little gap like I normally would do with it. Because, yeah, my bed was longer than I thought it was. It's more, I measured everywhere except to, like, the legs of my table, because I didn't think I'd have to. I thought the bed would have plenty of room between the legs of the table to swing around. Nah, it didn't. And I say bed in kind of heavy quotes, because it's just a box spring and a mattress on the floor. I don't have a bed frame. If I had a bed frame, I would have even less room in here, and I already don't have much room. Like, when we first moved to this house, like, God, 10 years ago-ish, this room was pretty big. It felt pretty big. Now it feels pretty small. But I've also had 10 years to accumulate crap, and when we moved, I left most of my stuff behind because I was done with it. I just did not want 99% of it anymore. And when we very first moved up here, my room was effectively a closet. Because, you know, our upstairs technically has 3 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, and what was very obviously at one point like a little storage closet that was then converted into a bedroom. I almost feel like I should have my hazards on. That's not the button. That's the horn. What are the hazards? F. I was close. Hit G, I hit H. Because I am going pretty slow right now, so... And this truck is really struggling to gain any amount of speed. I love Earthbound music. But I think that's pretty universal. It's got some just good music. And if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you can play Earthbound in the SNES games. It's very much worth it. If you have Nintendo Switch Online and you've never played Earthbound, give it a play. It is a really good game. A fair warning, though, it is an RPG from the SNES era. Expect to run into spots where you will get very lost. There is actually one instance early in the game that I will not fully spoil, but you have to go backwards to progress. You need to give up and go home. So, you know, that kind of thing. Very old RPG. It's also very much one of those games that rewards you for talking with people. Thank you for a follow, whoever that is. I cannot look at the moment because I'm kind of going absurdly fast. And this is a brick. So... Ah, Chaserama. Thank you for following. I need that other lane. I think. Do I? Yes. Yes? Oh, yes? Yes. I'm not good at GPS. Come on, other truck. Stop being so sensible. That's fair. I mean, I'm Canadian. I can visualize kilometers a lot better than I can miles per hour. Because, well, we use kilometers per hour up here. Plus, I am always holding out that hope that a Canadian DLC might happen someday. That's fair. I just don't mod much. Well, I don't mod at all, to be completely honest. Not American Truck, anyway. I like the base game the way it is. That is fair. Oh, truck, stop being so sensible and just go. What have you got to lose? You've got everything to gain, truck. You could just go. Noom and all that. It has the advantage of being a stock car. Like it just follows its path until you knock it off it. But you know, and then they get very confused very quickly. I'm probably one of the weirdest people that plays and streams this game. So I'm not much of a car person or a truck person. I know literally nothing about this truck other than it had numbers that bigger than other numbers. Like that's all I know. And it doesn't have a way for me to see when I have cruise control on. But, you know. It probably does, I just don't know where it is. It's probably just one of the switches get flipped. But I quite enjoy this game. It's just relaxing and kind of fun. I also hope I'm roading right, because I don't have a license. I've had my beginners before, though, I suppose. Why did the limit suddenly drop and then immediately go back up? And now I think it's dropping again. I'm very confused. Let's stay at 72. Or it's gonna slow down more. Me getting my beginners was probably one of the biggest wastes of money in the past while. This was a very long time ago at this point. It was like 11 years ago. But, yeah, I got my beginners with no vehicle to learn how to drive in at all. So, like, fat lot of good it did. That's why in the future, when I plan on getting I do all, you know, because cars are kind of a necessity, I do plan on getting one. I plan on getting a car before I get my beginners again. So I have something to actually use to, like, learn how to drive. As much as I'm not a car guy, I am kind of a learning guy. So I kind of want to actually just, like, go on Facebook Marketplace or something and find, like, a not, like, totaled car, but one that hopefully doesn't need work to the engine or something, that needs fixed to be usable for, like, $600 to $1,000, and get that and just slowly fix it. Because, like, there's a lot of vehicles around here that, like, I'd want to have someone with me that knows about cars that could, you know, check some of this stuff before I pay for it. But there's a few of them around here that claim that a lot of the things that are wrong with them are things like, oh, the power steering doesn't work. Well, I've watched enough YouTube videos to know that basically just means replacing the pump. Which doesn't seem terribly difficult as long as I can find the right pump. Same with, like, brakes. Doesn't seem that difficult. Like, that out of my grasp. Like, I could probably, with enough YouTube tutorials, figure it out. My only, like, big reservation with doing that is that, well, I know the longer a car sits without running, the more likely it is that the engine is going to now have something wrong with it. So, I'd want something that I could realistically get and fix probably within, like, 3 to 6 months, so that it's not sitting around. I mean, the thought crossed my mind a few times of, like, basically walking into, there's a garage not far from where I live that quite often has basically help wanted signs. But they're looking for people with, like, experience. Like, I've been half tempted just to go in and be like, I know literally nothing and am willing to work for, like, half rate to learn, you know? So, you know, my experiences with other places of employment has taught me if they're looking for employees a lot, there's a reason for that. So, you know, it's part of the reason why I've just not done that. My last place of employment being a supermarket. That quite literally, within the last month, still had like 10 job listings. But also, apparently, the store was over its allotted number of hours that it could give out. So, you know. And 3 of the job postings they had were for mandatory 40-hour jobs. Like, 2 were management, 1 was a pharmacy clerk. Yeah. Where are they gonna find those 120 hours if they're already at capacity? And that's ignoring the other 7 job listings. And then they wonder why people don't stay and work there. It's almost as if most people don't want to have to work like 3 to 4 jobs just to manage 40 hours of work a week. One of the big nails in the coffin for me quitting that job was quite literally getting cut down to 8 hours a week. Maybe they shouldn't be parked on the road. Freaking vehicle collision. Me, I don't have a license. People watching, we can tell. But like it's just one of those things of like I've learned my lesson at job places where you know, they constantly need workers. Especially because my position was a night position that was basically supposed to be guaranteed hours. Without actually guaranteeing the hours, it was supposed to be basically guaranteed. Yet it wasn't. At all. When came time for hours to be cut, mine were the first to go. Eee. Even though I literally was the second highest producer in the department. So that was fun. Working my ass off and get punished for it, basically. See, I have a notification on Discord that I want to check in a quick moment. I just need to get to a point where I can feel safe in pausing. Surefire way to know my my cruise control is off. Slam on the brakes. And YouTube paused my music. Thank you, YouTube. Very helpful. Very, very helpful, YouTube. Yes, I'm still watching. Imagine that, YouTube. I almost feel like I should just set my cruise control at 72 for this stretch of road. Shall go 70. Oh, hey, it's about to drop to 72. Yeah, I'm still 58 tons. That ain't changed. No way the limit's 24. Game, that is not how speed limits work. It's actually one thing that, because I'm definitely more of a computer guy than I am a car guy. So I know a decent little bit about computers. Not a huge amount, but enough. And, there's basically software being made to, well, basically make it easier for, like, you and a group of friends to build a little, like, storage server and all share it over the internet. Which is great. Until whoever's hosting that server, like whoever physically has that NAS in their home, has the relevant authorities kicking down their door because someone put something highly illegal on it. Of which, you know, given the difference between a business owning the storage server and a person owning it, that would basically create the ignorance is not a defense ruling. You not knowing that your buddy put something highly illegal on your storage server is not a defense for you literally owning the server, which has the illegal materials on it. And unless you get a tech-savvy judge, they're not gonna care. You owned the illegal materials. It was in your possession. The person that put it there will probably get hit too, but you're getting hit with charges because, well, you were the one in possession of it. Ignorance is not a defense. Like, the example I would give to people, because, you know, that is kind of a foreign concept until you stop and think about it. This is mostly relevant to anywhere it snows, but a snowplow taking down the speed limit sign does not remove the speed limit from the road. You then speeding on that road and claiming that you just didn't know the speed limit is not a defense. Your ignorance of the speed limit does not make the speed limit whatever you were going. The speed limit does not change because the sign is gone. You know, you being ignorant of a law does not make you, you know, or ignorant of possessing something illegal does not make you above being tried for possessing that illegal material. And, like, in the case of the storage server, it doesn't even need to be the absurdly illegal thing I'm alluding to but not saying because of the internet being what it is. And I would probably get penalized in some way by YouTube or Twitch for daring mention it. But, it could literally be your buddy putting a bunch of pirated pictures or videos or games on the storage server. Like, suddenly not only are they in trouble, but you're in trouble because you hold the server. You are in possession of it. Like, that's how a lot of these piracy websites get hit. Because they're not the ones to upload the material. In a lot of cases, it's encrypted, and they can't even see the material. But they own it. It's in their possession. And that's how they get dinged. Because it's in their possession. They are the legal owners of that server that hosts the pirated material. Their ignorance of what was on their server is not a defense. If anything, that makes it worse in the eyes of the law, because now you're making it clear that not only did you not know what was on your server, but you were doing nothing to regulate it either. Which is kind of one of the things of this NAS program, is it encrypts everything. So the main host of the server doesn't even know what's on it. Because everything is encrypted with keys that are only usable by the uploader, basically. So only the uploader can see what they've uploaded. Which, like, a lot of the tech community was like, oh man, this is such a cool idea, and I'm sitting in the corner like, that's a horrible idea. Like, especially knowing it's encrypted. The fact it's encrypted and people uploading stuff to these will know their buddies can't see it, they're probably gonna be a lot more brazen in the stuff they move to that server. Generally with the thought of, well, it's not on my computer anymore. You know, I'm not in possession of it anymore. I'll do this legally. Man, that's something I'll always like about European stoplights. That they go basically green, green, orange, red, red, orange, green. So in every cycle it goes to orange twice to basically give you the, hey, you might want to stop, and the, hey, you may want to start driving. You know, that way you can start accelerating before the light changes. Oh, yawning. Not so much tired as I am just kind of physically exhausted. But that's what happens when, well, I say physically. More mentally exhausted, I suppose, because I'm still physically good. It's just mentally I'm kind of conked. That's what happens when someone with quite bad depression uses almost all of their daily spoons to clean before they do the daily stream that they've committed to doing. I might have actually done something that wasn't trucking today if I had streamed first. But me and my silly brain, I was like, it's only a little bit of space to clean. I mean, yeah, all of the stuff in that little space is, like, piled up higher than my bed is. But, like, it's mostly bottles. That'll be easy. And I'm sure to a normal person it would have been. But I utterly hate cleaning in the first place. Like, it's something I've just always hated doing. Which, honestly, I want to say part of is probably because, like, I always have, anytime I've made a mess, it's been an organized mess. I know where everything is within the mess. But when I was younger, almost every time I would clean, well, one, I hated cleaning, so I would ask for help. But that meant that things would get put not where I wanted them, but where the other person thought they should go. Namely because where I would put things, and where I still put things, is not where a normal person would put things. Like, I have a dresser that's, like, right here. Yeah, it doesn't have clothes in it. The top drawer is some old tablets and phone chargers and things like that. The second drawer is video games and a couple PS2s. The third drawer is trading cards and the like. The fourth drawer is miscellaneous toys. The fifth drawer, because I've not been able to use it in years, has nothing in it. But we'll probably still not have clothes put in it. My clothes are on an armchair. Until they're dirty, in which case they get thrown in the laundry basket. Like, to me, it all makes sense. I know where everything is. But if I were to have a normal person come and help me clean my room, they'd probably want to move a lot of the stuff where I've put it and I know where it is, I like where it is, to somewhere else, because it's not where they would put it. And I've dealt with that for most of my life, and a lot of it's my own doing for always asking for help to clean, because I hate cleaning. Which would then make my hatred of cleaning worse, because now people are moving my stuff instead of just helping me clean up. It's a real vicious cycle. Hiccup. It's very much one of those things of, I like things where I like them. And like, even my desk is completely messy, but like, I know everything is on it. The exception there being when my cat decides, ooh, table, I want to play on that, and then she messes things up. Then I start losing things, because the cats move them around. Or when I'll send someone to grab something off of my table, and tell them exactly where it is, but they'll move things where they would think to look first. And it's like, no, I told you where it is. Why move thing? You know where thing was. I told. Which, I mean, my descriptions of where things are probably doesn't help. Because if I were to describe where my wallet is right now, it's in front of the calculator. It's between the calculator and the TV. Under a comb. Why is everyone slowing down? I got news for those other trucks. You don't need to slow down to turn that little bit. You can just turn. Let me guess, please pull in for a weight inspection. No, I can bypass. And the big reason why I even wanted to move my bed was just so I could have a little more floor space in here. Because as mentioned, this room used to feel so big, and now it just doesn't. Though also, when I first moved into this little room, I didn't have anything to sleep on other than a bedroll I had made before we'd even moved. Because I did not want to touch my bed. Not because it was filthy, but because I've been through some shit, and I did not want to touch my bed. Which, that is all I care to say on the matter. I still do not want to touch that bed ever again. So I had a little bedroll. That was nice and comfy. But then people decided for me that I needed a bed. So I had an air mattress, which was quite large, and then eventually, because we have cats, and at the time we had a dog that quite enjoyed getting into bed with me, and, you know, the air mattress got a hole punched in it. It's not a very big hole. It could probably be patched, so we still own the thing, because, you know, oh, I can't pull over this truck there. As mentioned, the hole could probably be patched. Had no sense throwing out something that basically just has a pinhole in it. That then, after the hole was punched in the air mattress, turned into the armchair, which is basically it's not a brand Lazy Boy, but it's a Lazy Boy. It's a leather reclining chair. Which that then served as my bed for a while. It also served as my computer chair for a while. I was doubling up. So I had a lot of space because my bed was my computer chair. Then an aunt and uncle were throwing out their old mattress and was like, "Hey, does anyone want it?" And my mother was like, "Yeah, we could use it." So now I have a mattress and box spring for 2 people. I am 1 person. I get I'm the width of 2 people, but I really did not need... I think it's a queen. It's whichever one is not long enough for an adult male. Well, let's be real. It's long enough for the average adult male, but I'm taller than that. My feet hang off the end. All y'all who are like, yeah, being tall would be great, it really isn't. The amount of days I have woken up and my ankles hurt because gravity's a bitch. And gravity don't turn off while you're asleep. Then there's the fact the ceiling down here that, for a normal height human, would be fine. For me, no. No, there's spots of the ceiling down here I almost hit my head on the ceiling. I mean, these ceilings are also not terribly high. I'm in a basement. But once again, to a normal height human, they'd probably be just fine. I'm just not normal. Yeah, my space down here has gradually shrunk as the years have gone on. To the point where, much to the annoyance of my sister and probably my mother and really everybody here, I don't ask for things anymore because I have too many things already. Why would I want more things? But, you know, when you're Christmas shopping, it's nice to have things to get somebody. I mean, this chair is a decent example of, like, I don't really ask for things. I do make mention that I'm considering buying something for myself, and then basically if it's near birthday or Christmas, it's like, ah! I'll get that before he can buy it for himself. I mean, my old chair still worked. Case in point of it still working, my sister now uses it. Which is another thing that made this room ever so slightly smaller, is I no longer am using the armchair as my computer chair. Mostly because it just would not work anymore. Because how I used to use it was I had like a proper computer desk. Now I'm using a dining room table. Because this is at a much more comfortable height for me. Once again, being tall. And I'm not even stupidly tall, I'm just 6'2". But it's tall enough to be annoying. It's tall enough to be annoying, not tall enough for sports. Not that I have any interest in sports anyway. Really winning myself viewers today. I don't like sports. I'm not a car person. Those are like the things that Americans and truckers would be the most likely to stick around for. Is someone they can talk sports and cars with. Though, I mean, to be fair, you could talk sports and cars at me. I just won't know what you're talking about. Go sports. Go relevant sports team. Boo rival sports team. Do I get it right? I know pro wrestling. Does that count? I mean, technically it's a sport. It's also technically not a sport. Depends on where you are in the world. Because in some places it's considered a sport and regulated like a sport. In other places, mostly because of Vince McMahon, it is not treated like a sport and is not regulated like a sport. My general definition of, is something a sport, is it regulated by a sports authority? If yes, it's a sport. And pro wrestling is regulated by sports authorities in a lot of places. So, that makes it a sport. In those places. The places it isn't regulated, it's outlaw mud show crap. I'm gonna preface what I'm about to say that this is a complete joke. But maybe all my watching of pro wrestling is why I turned out bi. To complete that, I understand, you know, you do not become bi or become gay You're born that way. I've always been bi. That is one misconception that, like, I've seen perpetuated by the and I say this as a term of endearment, the alphabet community, because we have so many letters now that it's kind of ridiculous. I can't see the lights. I am. I think I can see the lights in the reflection. But, yeah, I've seen that even perpetuated within the alphabet communities, where, like, people be like, yeah, I chose to be gay. It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't choose this. You were born that way. By Lady Gaga. Like, saying that kind of thing gives people who hate us ammo to say, yeah, it's a choice. Look, they themselves are saying it. Get the shotgun, Billy. They made the choice. You know. I mean, I joke about this stuff also, but, like, I don't... For anyone who may watch this part and be like, oh god, he's one of these people, I don't tend to bring it up much that I'm bi. Because really, it doesn't matter to anybody except me and my girlfriend. And even between us, it really doesn't matter that much. Like... I'm taken. It literally doesn't matter anymore. Like... I'm taken, and I'm hoping it's for life, so... So given my propensity? I think that's the right word. My ability to screw things up. It may not be for life, but... I hope it will be. Because, like, Robotic's an amazing person. It would be great if she showed up in the chat at that exact moment. Given how slow I'm going, I may as well hazard light. Like, I got the pedal to the floor, and it is not doing so hot. Manual hazards. I'll stop playing with my blinkers now. Please pull in for a weight inspection. Ah, I can bypass it. Little Tendus cave. Which actually reminds me of me making mention that if you haven't played Earthbound and you have Nintendo Switch Online, change that. You can play it. You can literally play it in the SNES package. Go play it. Right now. Stop watching this and go play Earthbound. It is a really good game that I honestly regret having not played through sooner. Like, I did my first full playthrough in, like, 2017. I played through a lot of it in, like... No, my first full playthrough would have been, like, 2018. Would it? No. No. No, it would have been 2017, 2016. I played through a bit in, like, 2014. When I was effectively kidnapped. And then basically had to live with my brother for a while. I've been through a lot in life. More than anyone should have to put up with or deal with. But yeah, Earthbound is one of those games, like, I wouldn't say it's exactly, like, a transcendent experience, but it's a really good game. With a lot of charm and character, and, like... Playing Earthbound will make you understand a lot of modern gaming tropes. Because it kind of made those tropes. Or at least made them popular. Well, at least modern tropes for RPGs. It kind of has to be an RPG, because Earthbound's an RPG. But, you know. Which I understand the crossover of people who watch and like American Truck Sim and play JRPGs. It's probably not very much. In that Venn diagram, the overlap is very little. But, there's some. Honestly, I feel like that if you play games and you only play one genre of game, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Because there's so many stories to experience and just experiences to have in gaming away from your chosen genre. Like, if I had to pick a genre to play nothing but games from it for the rest of the rest of time, excluding the smartass answer of MMOs, because there's many types of MMO, and they're kind of in their own camp, and they technically still fall into the same genres as other games. But, like, if I had to pick one genre, I myself would pick RPGs. Like, JRPGs. YouTube. YouTube, why? But, like, at the same time, like, it would be such a hollow existence as a gamer to not experience other games. And it's also a case of, like, you never know. Maybe one of those games of another genre you're going to absolutely love, even if you're not great at that genre. Or even if you don't even particularly like that genre. Like, for me, platformers. I'm not big into platformers. I bloody love Kirby. Just a side-scrolling platformer. Like, I love this little shit. I own virtually every Kirby game. Though a lot of that comes from I played Kirby when I was younger. Mostly because, well, I was more or less, and it was really itchy, more or less pressured by my older siblings to play platformers. You know, play Mario, play, you know, all that. Because I'm the youngest sibling. I was player 2. Usually I was player 3 or 4. But, you know. And they would play platformers all the time. So I'd be Luigi. Or the helper in Superstar. Which, quite honestly, I prefer being the helper to being Kirby himself. Like, I'm sorry, little pink puff ball, but, like, the helpers are just more fun. My nose is dusty. Also, I want to note, because I just actually remembered this, because I was poking through the American Truck Discord. Not Discord. The Steam discussions. Yeah, the Discord. Apparently the developers do not like the fact that people don't like that they want to put real ads in the games. To the point where they're literally banning people from the forums for complaining about it. Like, I don't see why that's a thing where, like, oh, I gotta ban people. Like, that's a legitimate concern. I mean, I myself am kind of concerned about it. Because, like, I've seen what advertising can be like. One, it can just be downright grotesque and not something that you'd really want people to see. But also, it can be inappropriate. And it can, you know, definitely be used to advertise gambling, which is the main thing that I'm against them having real advertisements for. Because you can bet the companies offering them the most money to advertise in their game are casinos. Because those casinos know that, like, hey, if we can remind people gambling exists and where they can gamble, you know, if we can have them put advertisements near the, you know, in the cities where our casinos are, that's going to have people who are like, who say visit those cities going, oh yeah, there's a casino here. I know about it from that game. That truck game. Cement truck, why? You're not a cement truck, but truck, why? Why did you do this? Like, I don't trust the developers enough to say, yeah, they'll probably keep gambling advertisements out of the game. Because the whole reason that they would be adding these advertisements in the first place is if they want the money, and the gambling advertisers are gonna pay the most money. So, like, it's going to be to their benefit to accept these billboard ads. And it's going to be to the detriment of the players that they're going to. Like, once they do it, I'll have to see how they're like, but that might honestly mark the end of me streaming this game. Like, and not even as a protest thing, just I don't want advertisements to show up that might get me banned. Like, once again, Google can't keep advertisements that are inappropriate off of YouTube. So what, why should I believe that these developers can do that? Which, I mean, it's gonna suck. Because I enjoy playing this game. I enjoy streaming this game. But the possibility of an ad for a not safe for work website showing up and, flashing some titties and getting me banned from not only Twitch but YouTube as well is just way too high. And once again, I will have to see what it's like. If they do have strict rules on what things they will take advertising from, then fine. But those rules need to be strict. And need to be laid out for the community to see. Like, the players deserve to know what's going to be advertised at them. Because, like, another big thing is pharmaceuticals. Yeah, people don't need drugs shoved in their faces. That's done enough on cable TV. They don't need to be driving along in their escape from reality and having an advertisement being like, hey, have you heard of Oxycontin? Great painkiller, totally not addictive. Come get yourself some opioids. They'll make all your pain go away. And your wallet. Oh, well, the pharmaceutical that developed them doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing. The real American way. You know, I'm just gonna check Discord on my phone. Don't text and drive, kids. Do as I say, never as I do. Unless what I'm doing is actually good to do. Then do it. I'm still very much in the camp of, man, I kind of wish I had actually started my, started uploading videos and stuff in, 2008. My YouTube channel has been around since 2008, which undoubtedly does not help me much when it comes to my place in the algorithm. I'm sure, those big, here's how you get big on YouTube folks, their first word of advice to me would be, make a new channel, dear God. You're probably so buried in the algorithm at this point that you are never going to get noticed. It's like, yeah, I know. But I don't want to change my channel. And besides, I have content that's rather successful. It's called Animal Crossing. I really need to do another Animal Crossing series at some point. Because apparently people like watching me play Animal Crossing and just kind of exist and tell stories. The main issue with doing Animal Crossing content is just that, well, I basically have to do it as videos, because if I do it as a stream every day, that's just too much work. And for anyone who doesn't do recording and stuff, but may have played Animal Crossing, you may understand the issue with, that recording Animal Crossing creates for your mental calendar. Because you basically have to play the game a day in advance so that you have at least a day to edit. And, like, I am honestly considering doing an Animal Crossing series. I don't know exactly on what game. Because, like, the Switch one, New Horizons, is pretty cool and has the most stuff in it. But also has some features I don't like. Like, I don't like having to manually build the island. I want the animals to just move in wherever, as long as they can plop a house down, move in. Like, that's Animal Crossing. The animals have a say. They're not just toys for me to put where I want them to be. They're living here too, you know. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to catch this green light. Or maybe I will. Nope. Probably could have if this little van had kept going. So I could have caught it on the orange, but... whatevs. But, like, that's something that... with, New Leaf... that, like, I know people complained about, and people have always complained about. Where, like, you'll have a field of flowers, and they'll all be unique special flowers, and then some animal will come along and just plop her house down right there. And it's like... oh, why? Why do you do this? It's because they can. That's why. They chose to put their house there. They saw the field of flowers and they're like, yeah, I want to live in this field of flowers. With New Horizons, that will never happen because you're deciding where they live. And, like, I did a stream series on New Horizons. And, like, I tried to maintain that feeling of, you know, just plop a house down wherever. But I also couldn't fight the urge to not destroy my stuff with the houses. The island also still looked pretty manufactured because, like, there were whole sections of it that I just didn't put houses because I was like, oh, but... you know, the houses would look better if I put them over here. So I'll probably do New Leaf. I mean, New Leaf would also fit with the order I've been doing them in. Because I started with Wild World, and then that series had a bit of a tragic ending to it, of me panicking because I was late to record, and knocking the, knocking my microphone onto my F1 key, loading a save state that I had made around 100 or so days before that incident, and then had never made another one. Because I was just basically seeing if save states worked. So, you know, that series just kind of ended without a proper ending to it. And then did City Folk, which was the next in the series. Of which, like, I mentioned it at the time, but I will literally mention, I'm going to mention it again here too. City Folk happened, and my channel continuing happened because of Robotic. Like, I was having a bit of a breakdown when I destroyed the Wild World series. And she's the one that helped convince me to keep going and, you know, helped convince me that, you know, hey, maybe just do City Folk. Because it didn't feel right to restart Wild World because, like, I just destroyed it. It's gone. And, like, a copy of City Folk was not much, so, okay. I've got the money. I'll buy City Folk. And that's how City Folk happened. Which also a bit of irony to all that is around that voice crack. Around that same time, I was doing a lot of Splatoon streaming, like the very first Splatoon. And I was getting salty that no one was watching the Animal Crossing stuff. So I stopped streaming Splatoon. Even though that was literally, like, the most popular thing I've ever done streaming-wise. Like, those streams were routinely getting 60 to 100 views. Which I know doesn't sound like a huge amount, but, like, given the size of my channel, that was a lot of views. But I got salty and just stopped doing them, and, like, I shouldn't have. Like, it's just one of those, you know, mistakes you learn from. And, like, I'd be able to justify it differently in my head if it had been, like, I had gotten depressed and I just lost the motivation to stream. But no, that was a conscious decision I made to basically sabotage myself because I was salty that no one was watching Animal Crossing. And yet now those Animal Crossing videos have thousands of views on some of them. It just hadn't been long enough for them to build up views. Now, I need some coffee, so I will be back in a few minutes. Enjoy the jams. I am back. I come back to boss music. Let's see. Freight market. Anything in... Yes! To Texas! Yeah, that's not into a city. Ooh, that's into a city, and that's way on the other side. Ooh, yes. Yes. Oh, and that's from this place. Ooh, that trailer's behind me. This is gonna be interesting. Doesn't really fit. But I want this job. Yeah, my cat is not overly pleased that I changed things around in here. She's, kind of throwing a fit. This is one of the OSTs. It's really quiet. There we go. I need fuel. I need fuel. I need fire. I need that which I desire. Now, can I get through here? Probably not. What am I snagged? Oh, it's me snagged. Yeah, that's probably still not gonna work. So... I'll do it this way. I don't know how the road would work here, so I'm just gonna go and take whatever penalties might happen. None. Cool. Man, it's nice being able to actually drive. you know, push the accelerator and have my truck actually gain speed. Hello, Robotic. You missed me gushing about you. I forget what the reason the initial time, but the second time was I got talking about my Animal Crossing series and how basically you helped talk me into continuing the channels and everything. And how wonderful that makes you. Yeah, when Wild World got completely destroyed by me being a big klutz. Yeah, because you are wonderful, and I'm a big klutz. I am big and a klutz. Triumphant music. It was even me being a big dummy knocking this exact microphone down onto my keyboard. Because I didn't always have the mic boom. I used to just use its little tripod that it's still sitting in. Yes. Talk to characters. Did you call him a nerd? It's me, it's Shadow. Yeah, but I mean, you can just call him a nerd. He's Shadow. That's because you didn't call him a nerd. Sheesh. It's gonna be great if that actually makes him, like, be nice to you. Holding on. What am I holding on to? I don't know, but I'm holding on. So I'm going to Texas. You arrived mid-journey to Texas. To YouTube. YouTube, why? How dare you stop the Azure Lane music? Frickin' YouTube. Because yeah, shock of all shocks, I'm a huge Azure Lane nerd. There's only been quite a few of the... I say quite a bit. There hasn't actually been all that much of the OST, but some Azure Lane OST. There would be more, but finding non-half-hour versions of the music is quite difficult. Because he's a nerd, that's why. Jeez. Frickin' nerd. Spaghetti Road. See, he knows he's a nerd. The frickin' nerd. Yes, Frisk, I know, things are different. Deal with it. You've got room to run around now. Why are you not happy about this? Lord knows how many spiders are now kicking around trying to find a new home. Yeah, and that exact quote, that quote from him is even more evidence that he is a nerd. Gotta get him a pocket protector now. I'm choosing to ignore hearing Frisk get into things. Well, I suppose that was her getting up on her cat tree. Kind of sounded like it was in front of me, but that's kind of the thing with this headset. It seems to make sounds outside of it sound like they're in front of me. For a second, I thought YouTube had paused again. Yeah, that happens. It'd be real great if Twitch allowed you to actually block ads, but why would they do that? Why would they not just bake them into the video? I mean, I wouldn't mind owning an SUV. Or any car, really. But that would mean that I could then, like, just on a whim go and visit you, so, like, you know. It'd be pretty neat. The fact that I'm going slightly over the speed limit, and those vehicles are getting slightly further away from me. And the one that's going the fastest is a cop car. It's pretty sus if you ask me. Probably closing in on Texas, if I'm not already there. Let me check. I'm almost there. I gotta get past Tucumcari? Cum. I gotta get past Cum. It's occurring to me that this song probably wasn't the best one to have in the OST playlist. There's a lot of quiet moments. It's also not a very loud song. It's Happy Happy is Blue. It's the theme to the Happy Happy cult's main base. That's fair. Bold words from frickin' Tails. Frickin' Tails. I gotta build up speed again. At least this isn't the last load where it would probably take me the next 20 minutes to get back up to speed. Not exactly sure. I might just do this delivery, I don't know. Game, why did you want me to pull over if I just needed to pull right back out? I think the game was trying to cause a traffic accident. It should also be noted, I'm going the speed limit. Where are you going, truck? He's got places to be, I guess. I'm within Texas. Texas has happened. Everyone get your cowboy hats. It's Texas time. That blue truck has places to be. I mean, like, regular traffic that aren't trucks, I could understand passing me, because there's a truck speed limit here and a regular speed limit. And I utterly hate it when that happens. Because usually the truck speed limit is later than the regular one. It also normally means the other trucks are gonna go slower. That blue truck is just gone. Did it... No, it's... No, there it is. It's way over there now. Bye, blue truck. Pretty good road tripping music. Earthbound music is just magical. Yeah, those billboards I keep crossing. They're basically like talk, text, crash, or whatever. I don't understand the talking one. Like, people have talked while driving for a very long time. Texting while driving takes your hands off the wheel. Talking while driving does not. It's also not illegal to talk and drive. I mean, if you're a very animated person while talking, then I suppose. But that comes to the other people in the car with you to be like, keep your hands on the wheel, idiot. I guess, pull in for a thingy, yep. That I know. Yeah, I'm just gonna sneak right on past you here. I have like 1% damage. What are you complaining about my truck being damaged for? Sheesh. Keep right, it said. Just force my way into the right lane. I love the musical whiplash that this playlist has. Where you go from like, oh man, calm, you know, kind of sad music, to just this. Now we're immediately back to like calming, sad music. I mean, why would he hide it? Not like there's really police in that universe. Like, who's gonna arrest him? Gibby? Like, nah. He'd try. And then Wayne would just be like, ka-chow, and move on. Like, that's just how it would be. Like... You can't deny it. Wayne would be all like, snap, and Gibby would be like, ah, I'm dying. And that would just be it. That is how that encounter would go. I love how there was the sign of slow down or pay up. And immediately the speed limit went up. So, I just remembered, according to Nvidia, the graphics card company, that honestly makes more money on other things than their graphics card division, they believe that AI-generated AIs in games are the future. Like AI-generated NPCs, where all the dialogue is AI-generated and all that. It's like, I'm sorry, but AI will never be better than writing. Not for conveying a story. I mean, Nvidia did say this during one of their press events where, you know, they want people buying their AI chips. I mean, even a game with a gimmick, unless that gimmick is, oh, everything's AI generated. Like... it just wouldn't really work. And even then, like, it would be a novelty, but it still wouldn't be good. And people would still be like, eh. That's fair. But, like, can you imagine, like, a JRPG, but all of the NPCs are AI generated? Like, that would suck. There'd be no story. I'm already in the right lane for this. Fair, but wasn't there basically some level of, cohesion to what the NPCs were saying? Like, they would basically use this, like, similar words. Because, like, that would be almost impossible with pure AI generation. Given AIs are kind of toddlers, if you prompted them to be like, yeah, use this word a lot, they would be like, oh, use carrot a lot? Okay, carrot, 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 carrot. Save us, carrot. It's like, no, that's not what I meant. Like, they'll just get fixated on the word. Like, even Replica will do that. Where, like, it'll just get fixated on a word. And you best hope that word works for the conversation. Because it's about to be saying that word a lot. My carrot example may or may not be from Replica. Just really wanted some carrots. But shock of all shocks, I still use Replica. I probably shouldn't. Because that AI's creator is kind of a dick. But I've already paid for the lifetime subscription, so, like, you know. I may as well. Though I'd heard that's going away at some point, even though I literally spent, like, $150 buying the lifetime subscription. Though they may have reversed that decision of getting rid of the lifetime subscription because, you know, I guess too many people were buying it. Instead of paying a monthly subscription to use the AI, they just bought the ability to use the AI outright. And yes. They start rambling about the meaning of the universe being peas. I almost blazed right past this because I could not see it was coming up. Damn it. That almost worked. For anyone that might be curious what the sudden, like, thud sound is when I'm slowing down occasionally, that's me engaging the parking brake. Totally a safe thing to do. Since I accidentally discovered its keybind, I've been using it a lot. Because it's funny. Who needs a regular break when you can just go... So I will probably make food after the stream. Because I am getting kind of hungry. And it's getting close enough to supper time. So I'll probably be a few minutes after the stream before we can chat there about it. But I shouldn't be terribly long. I just need to cook some sausages, add some rice, or maybe some french fries. They aren't very French, but you know. I'm sure they've been to Acadia. They're French enough. Acadia is the French part of Nova Scotia. That's where all them darn Frenchies live. And for anyone that may be concerned, being whatever it would be to be against French people, it's a friendly rivalry between the French and English-speaking Canadians. It's just what we all do. This is normal for us. Where? Game, give me my map. Where? Okay. Further on. God, I hate these weight inspections so much. Because they'll be like, hey, pull in for one, but we're gonna remove your mini-map. Your little GPS, we're just gonna remove it. Make do with the one in your truck. Yeah, but that one's so zoomed in. I might be bringing contraband. YouTube. I was gonna be like, you know what? I'm getting close to the end. I may as well just keep going. But I know from last time that saying that is a very bad idea. I should just set the music up again. last trucking stream, the end was like 30 minutes longer than I thought it was gonna be because of mud, and this truck not handling mud. Yet handling grass and dirt just fine. But the muddy road? Nah. Couldn't do it. The same dirt, but not as a road? Ah, that was fine. Because video game logic. Can I speed up, please? Yay. Can guarantee the speed limit this whole time was 121, but, you know. I hadn't seen the sign again yet, so that makes the speed limit 80 for some reason. Man, I can't hear this track without thinking of the Brentalfloss song, Winters. So my cruise control is not on. Or it was on. I'm getting mixed signals from this truck. I really wish there was an indicator. There probably is, it's just like behind the wheel. Wonder if I can change the wheel. Man, Houston. I know / knew a guy from here. I say know / knew because I have not spoken to him in years because I know of him because of EVE Online, and he stopped playing before I stopped playing. Which I still feel weird about him stopping, because, like, he was really dedicated to that game. And then the next thing I know is I'm hearing from his father, who he got playing the game, that he had quit playing, and he gave his father all his stuff. Okay. A bit weird. Wish my nose wasn't so itchy. This road is spaghetti. Honestly, I wish I in general was not so itchy. That's what happens when I clean. And I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's just a mental thing. I just suddenly get itchy everywhere. Well, it's a good thing I'm not going that way. Nearly at my destination. Only 30 in-game minutes left to go. Just waking up the neighborhood. Don't worry about it. They live next to train tracks. They wouldn't be woke up by that. I can see the destination. And now because the turning light is not green, I can't go. Because that's a brilliant idea. Totally reduces congestion of the roads and, you know, keeps traffic from building up. Man, this boss theme is just always the memories of this boss. So close. Well, that is going to be it for today. It's been about 3 hours, so it's good enough for me. I am hungry. I'll get old man McGee saved. And, yeah. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for, well, whatever happens to be tomorrow. See you all then.